There is a missing link in border security. For years, the southern border with Mexico has been a scene of chaos. Hundreds of thousands of people cross the border illegally and are chased by the Border Patrol. Hundreds of thousands more are never seen. To solve the problem, the U.S. government began using advanced technology. Undersecretary for Border and Transportation Security Asa Hutchinson said, "The development of UAVs in protecting the borders of the United States demonstrates the commitment this administration has to test new technology and systems to better secure America. This is another example of the department's support to gain operational control of the Arizona border." These and other airborne systems work in conjunction with conventional ground-based cameras and the age-old technique of dragging tires along the border and coming back to look for footprints. On the ground, new radar systems were installed to detect moving targets so an alert could be sounded. A new virtual fence system was installed along part of the border in Arizona. The National Guard was deployed, followed by units of the regular Army. The Secure Fence Act of 2006 led to miles of new fencing and barriers along the border with Mexico, some good and some not so good. New technology was brought to Arizona to establish operational control of the border. Let's see how we're doing. The Secure Fence Act of 2006 says operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the United States. Let's see how we're doing. This map shows Border Patrol sectors along the southwest border. The Tucson sector is the busiest. Since January 1, 2012, a private organization, SecureBorderIntel.org, has been monitoring Border Patrol radio traffic in the area south and west of Tucson, Arizona. This is just part of the Tucson sector. The Border Patrol uses encrypted radio communication so others can't listen in, but not all of the time. Secure Border Intel estimates that it picks up about 30% of the radio traffic in the area covered. Using a labor-intensive procedure, Secure Border Intel categorizes Border Patrol radio traffic by type of enforcement activity. There are two basic types: human smuggling and drug smuggling. From January 1st to September 19th of 2012, Secure Border Intel cataloged 1,720 enforcement actions in this way. Secure Border Intel provides its data in a Delorme topo mapping format in a way that makes it difficult to see the entire picture all at once. But as we zoom in, we can see details. The notes are taken from common Border Patrol radio lingo. IAs are illegal aliens. Unknown usually means an agent has seen sign or received a report indicating there are suspects in the area. Carpet walkers are people who put carpet on their feet to hide telltale footprints. Packers are people carrying drugs. The location is based on GPS coordinates or landmark reports. This area is about 10 miles north of the border near Sassabee, Arizona. There is a lot of activity. This map shows activity in an area just west of Tucson, about 60 miles north of the border. Again, 60 miles north of the border. It is not known how many of the illegal aliens were apprehended. Most probably were not. Secure Border Intel logs only a fraction of radio reports, so you must multiply this activity by about 3 to get an actual picture of enforcement work. This chart shows level of human smuggling reports from the 1st of August to September 20th. There was a surge starting in mid-August. There is no question that this year, thousands of people crossed the border illegally and made it past the Tucson Sector Border Patrol for up to 75 miles north of the border. Despite the application of significant assets and thousands of hours of Border Patrol time, these people were not prevented from crossing the border. Between Nogales and Lukeville, a distance of 115 miles, there are only 7 miles of fence designed to stop people. The rest is wide open to foot traffic. Some argue that a real fence would solve the problem. However, there is great opposition to new fencing on the border. There is a missing link on the border. There is a need to link all the technology, not only by a common operating picture, but a common threat picture. That link is reliable, immediate detection and identification of border violators. Let's see why. Here is an example. Assume that Border Patrol agents are positioned every 6 miles. With an immediate alert, the point of intrusion could be reached within, say, 4 minutes. At a normal walking rate, the intruders would have traveled about 1,200 feet. Even if they were running, they would be at most 1/2 mile away. With proper equipment, it should be a simple matter to intercept and apprehend them. If agents can't reach the point of intrusion immediately, other assets such as helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, UAVs, and mobile camera systems could find and track the suspects very quickly. This might even be accomplished with unmanned ground vehicles that move in to warn the suspects to wait for the regular U.S. Border Patrol to arrive. The secret is immediate detection and identification. Can existing technology do the job? Cameras are effective when they see something, but they have to know when and where to look, and they usually don't. And cameras can't see into deep washes or through heavy brush. A seamless 100% coverage of every inch of the border using only cameras would be prohibitively expensive. Radar knows when an intrusion happens if it can see it and detect it, and many times it can't, for the same reasons cameras can't. A full 100% effective ground radar coverage of the entire border would again be very expensive. As with cameras, aircraft, whether manned or unmanned, must know where to look. Just flying around hoping to detect suspicious activity is generally a waste of fuel.
We're not picking up anything.
Existing ground sensors might do the job, but according to a study by the Inspector General of the Department of Homeland Security, they are extremely unreliable, with a false alarm rate in excess of 90%. And their coverage is generally very spotty. Here is the missing link. After 10 years of work on the border, a small Arizona company, Border Technology, Inc., has developed Identiseis, a system that detects and identifies border intruders on a continuous, unbroken line with great reliability. Identiseis uses the same seismic exploration technology applied by oil companies, modified to detect signals on the surface instead of deep underground. The basic sensor is similar to that used in U.S. Border Patrol ground sensors, with some major differences. Instead of a single sensor or geophone operating off a battery with a transmitter, Identiseis connects 12 geophones together to operate as one sensor. All of the geophones or sensors are connected by a common cable to a seismograph that converts the signals to digital data. Seismographs are placed every half mile. They are operated off a solar-powered battery system. A computer processes the data from the seismograph using an algorithm that determines if a threat is present. There is one such computer every 5 miles. Also every 5 miles, an IP-based radio link sends alarms to a solar-powered satellite link. There is one satellite link about every 40 miles. With the exception of solar panels and antenna, the entire system is buried underground. Identiseis can detect humans walking at a range greater than 600 feet, or about 180 meters. Individual ground sensors used by the Border Patrol have a range of about 30 feet. The greater range of Identiseis gives its algorithm much greater time to analyze the signals before it sounds an alarm. In the following, you will see an actual test of how Identiseis adjusted to rainfall. The test was performed at Border Technology's test range on the Mexican border in southern Arizona. The fence is at the border. It runs 5 miles to the west. The number 6 is 600 feet from the sensor line.
30 seconds.
Copy.
The algorithm is establishing the background noise level. 1/2 mile of the system has been installed at this test site.
Okay, begin walking, gentlemen.
The video camera is IP-based and can be used for live demonstrations.
Get on 6. 2 people. 5 for people.
2 adjacent sensors, 6 and 5, detected the intrusions as humans.
5 is community.
Sensor 5 was closest to the source. The system pulls up Google Maps for each of the sensors being activated.
Okay, begin.
The algorithm adjusts to changing background environmental conditions. If there is increased noise, the range of detection and classification is reduced somewhat, but still very great. Fixed sources of noise, such as power transformers, are handled by electronic filters. Operators comment that it's kind of cool that the rain did not produce false hits.
It's kind of cool. You're not getting a lot of false hits. Just picked you up right now on 5.
Good deal. On 300 feet.
Identiseis reduces false alarms through the application of advanced digital signal processing and mathematical probabilities. Users also have the ability to control certain parameters that set sensitivity. Low-flying aircraft generate a seismic noise that is easily detected.
Airplane here.
Vehicles generate seismic signals that can be distinguished from humans walking. With its long-range detection capability, Identiseis could be used to deter persons from crossing the border in the first place. All major components of the Identiseis system have been proven reliable after years of use by oil companies. The same applies to radio links such as the Motorola Canopy system and the Hughes Satellite Internet link. Under conditions similar to those on the southwest border, Identiseis can be installed for about $100,000 a mile, not including cameras. Identiseis combines long-range sensors with powerful signal processing in a way that provides reliable early detection and classification heretofore impossible. For a low-cost system that is environmentally benign and safe, Identiseis is the answer. For early detection and identification that multiplies the force, Identiseis is the answer. Identiseis is truly the missing link in border security.